In our lives, we can get so caught up on the worry and fear of what other people think about us, about what they are thinking, about what they might do based on what they think about us, about the worry of what might happen if somebody thinks this, says this, judges me this way. And we're constantly trying to make sure that we have a slight edge advantage over other people around us. That way we don't get hurt, fall flat on our face, and experience painful things. Have you ever felt this way? Like when you're trying to build a business, grow your life, reach your goals, that you have to make sure that you're just a little bit of a step ahead of everybody around you so that you don't get hurt or so that other people don't think bad things about you. The fear is very real. It can become gripping and keep us from taking action that we need to take, the most loving, courageous actions in our lives. And so we have to come face to face with this and accept that in ourselves. Accept the fact, instead of avoiding it, that I am afraid to do this thing. I am afraid to take courageous action. I am afraid to do that. And then tell ourselves the truth about our fear. You see, what's happening is we're giving so much power over to what we believe might happen if other people do something, think something, look at us in a certain way, talk about us behind our back in a certain way, that we choose to not do the very thing that is going to help us progress and move forward out of that fear. Our entire goal and focus and our mission is to protect ourselves, to defend ourselves, to always make sure that we are right and have a slight edge advantage. And when having a slight edge advantage is your number one goal. So I'm saying you have a goal to be successful, but your real goal is to have an advantage over everybody else. If that's your goal above being successful, above taking action, is to always be a step ahead, there's a couple things. You can be easily manipulated into thinking that you have an advantage. That's an unfortunate truth. And you're going to constantly think that other people think and look at the world in the same way, that other people are constantly trying to one-up you, that they're constantly trying to attack you and things like that. And we go into this defense mode, oftentimes legitimately based on past experiences that we've had. Past experiences where we've felt attacked, where we felt like no matter what we do, it's all going to go wrong, and there's people plotting against us behind the scenes trying to make sure that we can't be successful. Have you ever felt this way? I know that there's some people that watch me that do feel this way because there's a pattern of this in people's lives. And the way that I know this is because I've been this way for a long time as well. This fear and this worry that no matter what I do, for some reason, someday the shoe is going to fall and everything's going to come crashing down because that's what happened last time and the time before that and the time before that. And the only way that I was able to break that pattern, breaking the negative pattern of repeating this story in my head, was to shift my focus. To shift my focus not on what I'm trying to protect against, but empowering what I wanted. Empowering the result. Empowering and encouraging and having compassion on myself, accepting the process that I've been in my life, realizing that I don't need to be or act in a certain way, that I don't need to compare myself to other people, and that my self-worth is not tied to how good I do everything better than everybody else. That I can just be and let other people take the spotlight. Let other people be their best self. Make safe space for everybody else around me to succeed and be successful. That I don't need to be the one to make sure that I always have the right answer, that I always am doing the right thing, that people are never thinking wrong things about me, that they're never thinking a bad thing, and that I'm constantly managing their opinions about me. Many times when we're people-pleasing, we're trying to manage and maintain the opinions that other people have about us. We're trying to make sure that they never think anything bad, and as long as they don't think anything bad, I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be successful. As long as I can make sure that people are only ever thinking good thoughts about me, I will reach my goals. And this is a misappropriation of our energy, because our energy is solely tied to having a slight edge advantage and pleasing people. And we believe that these two are the only possible way to reach our goals. That if we do all the right things, people like us, and we're just a step ahead of everybody else, then one day I will be successful. And that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, that's a complete lie that I had to expose in myself and realize that people pleasing was actually keeping me stuck, not going after my goals. That trying to always stay a step ahead was keeping me stuck, not being successful, because I was so focused on this that I had blind spots that I was missing what the actual actions that I needed to take were, and having compassion and observing other people around me and just enjoying life. And so we have to break the negative cycle of people pleasing and break the negative cycle of making our number one mission in life to have an advantage over everybody else. Breaking our number one mission in life to always look good to other people, to always do all the perfect things, to break that cycle. Making our why, our reason why, bigger than validating ourselves, bigger than feeling like I did all the perfect things, feeling like, well, nobody can ever say anything bad about me because I did all the perfect things. You see, that becomes our goal. Our perception of what other people think about us is the misappropriate goal. We're trying to control how people perceive us, and we're completely missing the choices, decisions, and loving actions that we need to take to actually progress the needle forward. And so this becomes a comfort zone of managing and maintaining our perceptions, protecting ourselves against what might happen, protecting ourselves against the judgment of other people, staying away from our purpose and outside of how we were created, not being our true authentic self to people because we're worried about how they might perceive us. And when we can break this off, when we can stop doing this, and we start living our life on the truest terms of who we are, who God made us to be, we stop making our entire mission just, how can I make other people happy? And we start living our lives in what's called an audience of one, us and God together, having love and compassion for other people, not trying to manage and maintain what they think about us, but rather accepting that they can have their own opinion, I can have mine, and we are okay. We are absolutely okay. We don't need to be in alignment and agreement for either of us to be safe. That I can be myself and I can put myself out there in a way that may not resonate with everybody else, may not be the best fit for everybody, but I know that it's worth it because it's the best fit for the calling that's on my life. And that's what it is for you too. When you come into alignment with doing the very best thing that's in alignment with your purpose and how you were made, it's always going to be the best, most loving choice and action for you. Now, the flip side of this, a lot of people might say, well, what if the best loving choice and action for me is hurtful to other people? Many times we might have that thought because we've thought that other people have made the best action and choice in their life and it hurt us. And so we don't want to do what happened to us to other people. And we have to realize that we are individuals. We're not responsible for somebody else's choices, but we're responsible for ourselves and what we do. And we can take ownership over our choices and our responsibility, not comparing to what we think we need to do, but making our choices and decisions as our own, autonomous from just what other people think. And we know that our motives are right, our heart is in the right place, and we're coming from a place of love, kindness, and compassion. Then we know that the choice that we make is the very best decision in that moment. We don't need to manage and maintain how other people think about it. Okay? And so when you do this, when you start to live your life in that way, start to take ownership of your mistakes, saying, listen, I'm sorry when I make a mistake, but then moving on quickly, not walking in guilt and shame and worry about how we might look to others, but rather being exactly how God made us and giving yourself grace to make mistakes, giving yourself grace to fall down and skin your knee a few times and get back up and move forward again. When you can give yourself grace to do that, everything starts to come together for you in your life. And we're no longer living our lives based on just managing and maintaining and protecting ourselves against what we're fearful of. Rather, we are empowering the destiny that's right in front of us. So this week, start doing that. Start empowering yourself in what you want to go after, what you were made for, and give up just a little bit of this trying to protect and avoid the pain of what could potentially happen, like what happened last time. Start allowing yourself to take steps forward towards your goals instead of just trying to make sure that everything goes perfectly. Start allowing yourself to put yourself out there, even if you get judgment from other people, even if you're not the right fit, even if they disagree with you, because the lessons that you learn along the way are always going to be worth it. And it's going to be worth the process for you to go into to find your voice, to find how to communicate, to find what the best choices, decisions, and actions are for you, not in comparison of what you have seen other people do, but what is uniquely designed for you. And when you do that, when you come into alignment with what is uniquely made for you, not somebody else, but for you, we end the comparison game. We can start to become successful and reach our goals in a very unique way that looks nothing like what anybody else is doing. That is a way that is completely designed for you. That is a way that is exactly for you. Now, you might be saying, well, I'm comparing to other people and I really want what they have. I really want the life that they have. So how am I going to get that? I need a strategy to get that. Your unique strategy may have a few of the similar factors, but it's always going to be just a little bit different. And the first part of this is by coming into alignment with gratitude. What are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for the experiences in your life and the lessons that you've learned up to this moment in time? And how can you stay consistent to keep moving forward towards your goals in your life to create the life that you never thought was possible, that is uniquely designed for you? And you can do this when you can really be honest with yourself and accept yourself how you are right now. Not saying, one day when I get there in the future, I'm going to accept myself, but I accept myself today, warts and all. Mistakes and all. I'm going to accept it completely. And we start accepting other people's mistakes. We're not judging other people for what they make mistakes with. We can give ourselves grace and others to live their lives exactly how they were meant to. And we can live our lives that way as well. So, grow your life, everybody. This week, you can do it. You can go after your goals. I believe in you. We'll talk soon.